Why hello there, and welcome back to Let's Make Us a Character. Last time we made an advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition character, and this time, Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition. I guess it's not advanced anymore. So let's make us a Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition character. Okay, actually a 3.5 character, because there's really no point in covering them individually or in not using the updated version. We start by rolling up our ability scores, and 4d6 discard lowest is now the standard method. So we have 16 strength, 14 dexterity, 13 constitution, 10 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and 8 charisma. And once again, we can assign our rolls to whichever ability scores we wish, and I already did with editing. Our race options are now human, dwarf, elf, gnome, half-elf, half-orc, and halfling. So all of the previous options. Each race other than human and half-elf provide ability score adjustments, usually a +2 to one and a -2 to another. And our class options are now Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, and Wizard, a hefty selection. Class and race ability score requirements are gone, as are racial class restrictions, although some classes do still have alignment restrictions. So if we want to make a Gnome Barbarian with 3 strength, we can, as long as they're non-lawful. We probably shouldn't, but we can. In place of class restrictions, races now have favored classes, which are really only used in multiclassing. Which I guess means I finally need to talk about multiclassing. In previous editions, a multiclass character had to be of a demi-human race and was restricted to specific combinations. So, for example, in 2nd edition, an elf could be any combination of fighter, mage, and thief. Experience points were divided equally between the classes, so an elven fighter mage with 25,000 experience points would have 12,500 experience points in fighter and in mage, which would make them level 4 in both classes. They get all the features of both classes and get half of their hit die value whenever gaining a level in either class, and use the better of their combat values and saves. There was also dual classing for humans, but that was basically just stopping one class and starting over in another class with a large experience penalty for using features from the previous class until the new class level exceeded the previous class level. In 3rd edition, whenever you level up, you can just take a level in a different class. So our Elven Fighter Mage with 25,000 experience points would be a 7th level character, and could have 5 levels in Fighter and 2 in Wizard. Whenever we gain a level, we get the full benefits for that level of that class. So all of the abilities from each class level, as well as the combined hit dice, attacks, and save modifiers. However, we do take an experience penalty if our classes are more than 1 level apart, so with 5 levels in Fighter and only 2 in Wizard, we would take that penalty. If we were not an elf, because an elf's favorite class is Wizard, and your favorite class allows you to ignore that particular class when determining a multi-class penalty. But if we then decided to take a level in Rogue, we would have a 20% experience penalty until we reached level 4 in that class. The system also allows for prestige classes, which are special classes you can only take after meeting requirements that you must get from other classes. So similar to the basic edition Druid or the 1st edition Bard. For example, the Arcane Archer Prestige class requires a character to be an elf or half-elf, have a base attack bonus of +6, be able to cast level 1 arcane spells, and have some bow-related feats. All of which this character could reasonably have, so at level 8 we could take that class and be a level 5 fighter, level 2 wizard, and level 1 arcane archer with all of the benefits of each of those class levels and still be a level 8 character. And with that all out of the way, let's get back to choosing our character. We can pick literally any combination of race and class, and since they're both back after being removed in 2nd edition, let's make a half-orc monk. As a half-orc, we get a +2 bonus to strength and a -2 penalty to intelligence and charisma. We are a medium creature with no size-related modifiers, and we get our age, height, and weight based on our race and class. We have a base speed of 30 feet, dark vision 60 feet, and are considered an orc for the purpose of effects based on race. We also begin speaking Common and Orc. We would get more languages if we had a high intelligence, but we very much do not. Our ability scores now all have modifiers of +1 for every 2 points above 10, or -1 for every 2 points below 11, which just apply to a variety of things, as you will see. All of our class features are now nicely laid out on a single table, so we can see that as a 1st level monk, our base attack bonus is 0, our fortitude, reflex, and will saves are all +2, to which we then add our constitution, dexterity, and wisdom modifiers respectively. We also gain the Flurry of Blows ability, which allows us to make 2 attacks with a -2 penalty each, which would usually be a -4 and -8 penalty, and our unarmed strike damage does 1d6 damage instead of the regular 1d3. We also gain 2 feats, which are additional abilities we get to choose for our character, which are a nice little customization option, usually, but have been known to cause issues. All characters get 1 feat at 1st level, so let's go with Dodge, and as a monk we get a bonus feat, either Improved Grapple or Stunning Fist, and obviously we're gonna take Stunning Fist because it lets us stun opponents with an unarmed strike, which is like our thing. And as a monk we can get it at 1st level instead of 8th or higher, and get to use it 3 times as often as the other classes. We also gain the maximum value of our first hit die, so 8 plus our constitution modifier is 9. And as a monk, we get a number of skill points equal to 4 plus our intelligence modifier per level, and 4 times that at 1st level, which we then use to buy ranks in our skills at the cost of 1 point per rank for class skills and 2 points for others, with each skill also being modified by 1 of our ability modifiers. Now with all of that out of the way, it is time for equipment, and as a monk we get 5d4 gold. Not like times 10 or anything, just 5d4, so 10 gold. Fortunately, we don't really need armor or weapons or anything because we're just cool like that, and we start out with a set of appropriate clothing, so let's just pick up some shuriken because we can use them to flurry of blows at a distance, and some modest adventuring essentials. And the total weight of all of our equipment is comfortably within our 100-pound light load carrying capacity. Now let's calculate our armor class, which is equal to 10 plus our dexterity modifier plus armor or shield bonus if we had any of those, and as a monk we also get to add our wisdom modifier when we are not wearing any armor, so 14 in all. We also have a touch AC, which doesn't add regular armor, and a flat-footed AC, which doesn't add dexterity, and of course we get to add our wisdom to both of those. We also have an initiative modifier, which for now is just equal to our dexterity modifier. Our attacks are calculated by adding our base attack bonus, or flurry of blows bonus in our case, and strength modifier for melee attacks, or dexterity modifier for ranged attacks. Damage is set by the weapon and modified by our strength modifier for melee and thrown attacks, which is what we happen to have here. We also have a grapple modifier equal to our base attack and strength modifiers. And this character is done! So I will now get into what makes 3rd edition so much different from the previous editions. In the previous editions, you would get your 2 hit numbers or THAC0 and saving throws from a table based on your class or level, and if you rolled equal to or higher than that specified number, you succeeded. Skills, on the other hand, were generally defined by ability scores and race, with the exception of the Thief Skills system, which I did cover in the last 2 videos, and are given as a chance of success that must be rolled equal to or under for whatever dice type was specified for that skill. There was also an optional proficiency system in 2nd edition where you applied a modifier to an ability score and then tried to roll equal to or under that on a d20, which will probably seem familiar to Black Hack fans. In 3rd edition, you roll a d20, add a modifier, and compare it to a target value, a single mechanic that covers attacks, saves, and skills, and also allows for variable difficulty in saves and skills versus the basic pass-fail of previous editions. Overall, developments that seem kinda obvious in retrospect, but a lot of things are obvious in retrospect. Anyway, back to our character. And in a bit of a change here, let's go through this level by level. At level 2, we gain an additional hit die, as well as an additional daily use and increase to the save DC for our Stunning Fist, which is equal to 10 plus half our level plus our Wisdom modifier. Our base attack bonus, saves, and Flurry of Blows all increase by 1, and we gain the Evasion ability, which allows us to avoid taking half damage on successful reflex saves, and another bonus feat, for which we will choose Deflect Arrows. At level 3, we get a hit die, an additional daily use of Stunning Fist, and all characters get a feat, so let's take Weapon Focus Unarmed Strike, which gives us a +1 bonus to our unarmed strikes. Our base attack bonus and Flurry of Blows increase by 1. We gain the Still Mind ability, which gives us a +2 bonus to saves versus enchantments, and we get a +10 bonus to our unarmored speed. At level 4, we get another hit die, daily use, and increase to the DC of our Stunning Fist. We also get to increase one ability score by 1, so let's pick Wisdom, which will increase our modifier to +3, which then adds to our AC, Will Save, and Stunning Fist DC. Our base attack bonus, saves, and Flurry of Blows all increase by 1. We gain the ability to Wall Slide, and our unarmed strikes now deal 1d8 damage and are treated as magic weapons. And finally, at level 5, we get a hit die and additional daily use of Stunning Fist. Our base attack and save bonuses do not go up, but our Flurry of Blows does, and we gain the Purity of Body ability, which grants us immunity to non-magical diseases. So you pretty much get something beyond just a hit die and skill point at every level, which is either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your point of view. And that was a Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition character. A change in ownership and a lot of big changes to the game, mainly to make the overall rules more streamlined and cohesive, having that one general mechanic that then applies to all of your basic actions. And honestly, it is a game where a lot of the praise and criticism it receives are both valid. It creates an easier base user experience and has a lot of options, some might say too many. And even multiclassing is easy, but that can lead to characters just getting ridiculously piled up with all sorts of abilities, and perhaps abilities that don't work that well together, or work too well together. And sorting out all of the content and all of the numbers on the back end of the mechanics can be a bit of a chore at times. Alright, there are only 2 more Dungeons & Dragons to cover, so if there are any other games you'd like to let's make us a character for, let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, and check out the other videos, and we will be back next time, making a Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition character. That was ominous. But until then, keep on rolling.